Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Okay, thank you all for your donations, comments, likes, subscriptions, amazing support of my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to do a bit of a Q&A, a little bit of a mix and match type of questions that I've been asked over the last little while. Before we start, where will we go here? I'm kind of deciding which cards I should be using. I've got out the Elemental Oracle, but I think I'm going to just pull from the Mystical Shaman's Oracle. I don't know why I'm being a bit pedantic about decks today, but I'm just going with where I'm led, which is a great way to be. We've got two in my household that may have, they've been tested for COVID. One is displaying symptoms, the other is not. We're doing our best. I've had my booster. Given I have underlying health conditions, as does my husband, and we've been boosted. And the rest is over to the universe, and I do feel that I have that protection, so it's time for me to walk. What is it? Walk the walk, talk the talk. It's time for me to do that. Okay, so God be willing, spirit be willing, touch wood, whatever. I stay COVID free. All right, let's pull some cards here. Okay, just some couple of collective messages before we get into the hurly-burly of the political tarot. So, a couple of messages from Spirit for the collective, for those that are watching this at this time, please. Flow. What did I say when I started going with the flow? You know, water seems to be presenting to me today as a real connection with the emotions. And, you know, what happens when the emotions are full of angst, are full of, preconsiderations, possessed kind of inclinations, things just get messed up. It's such good counsel when you hear people say, go with the flow, take a chill pill and go with the flow. And I know that's difficult. I mean, hey, I'm sitting here in potentially a COVID household, but there's something here around going with the flow. It's like you can have a greater chance of molding things into form than if you obstruct or put obstacles in your way. The giveaway, that's beautiful. That's a gift of something, a gift being given to you because you have learnt to go with the flow, not to put those obstacles, generally based in either on through the ego or on fear, put those obstacles in your way. And we've got circle faith. When I opened up for this reading, a lot of hands. This is the circle of support. This is the higher energy, higher beings lending their support. So there's gifts here. Going with the flow, trusting in the universe are real messages here. We've got Vision Quest. I think there comes a time when we're done with such negativity or such worry or such patterns from the past, and we go through a process of letting them go, releasing them, and that's that vision quest there. The sun illumination, beautiful. It was pouring rain here. We've had enough rain. Our sheds in our country has flooded 3 times in the last year. And the ground is saturated. Every time I see rain. I do the I am light prayer and hope that the sun comes out. So, finally we've got taming of the wind and completion. At another level, there's a lot about fear and working through those patterns and allowing the emotions to flow without putting obstacles in front of them. Okay, so let's get started with a little Q&A session. I'm using the modern witches tarot. It's this one. It's a very contemporary deck. Okay, what were those two cards, by the way? Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. Knight of Cups. There's something around universal trust and protection here that is coming through today. Someone needs to hear that message. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go to Boris Johnson. There's long been calls to remove him. King of Swords and Knight of Swords. The hits keep coming for the UK leader, Prime Minister, and the truth keeps coming out. I don't know if he's facing an investigation, but he will, and we've got endings and a great deal of anxiety and restriction and worry here. Nine of Pentacles over his monetary ties. He just has this perception that he's not fit for purpose. All right, so let's see if he can hang on. I've always seen that he does stand down. He loses the support. That would be the only way to remove him. An election is some way off. He was Mr. Brexit along with that joker, Nigel Farage. Let's see. And of course, the third in the circle was that ex-president of the US. So let's have a look. Boris Johnson, what happens to him? I'm pretty ambivalent about Johnson, I must say. There's parts of him that I actually like and parts that I feel that, the big cover-up has been done, which I'm not. I don't support hiding the truth or lack of accountability in political leaders of any persuasion. Boris Johnson, can he hang on, please? Boris Johnson, can he hang on? Okay, so we've got here the Nine of Cups, miracles, wish fulfillment. That would be a yes card. Crossed by the Hermit review. A lot of people are doubting him and are he's getting quite isolated. He might have started strong, but there's he's the more that the time goes on, the more isolated he becomes. And we've got the Hanged Man as the foundation. Suspending something, stopping something. Is that his support? Seven of Wands in the past, him having to defend himself and continually. What's in the sky? These cards aren't really all that good. The Tower card. There's some kind of more misfortune that he's going to face. The King of Pentacles, his ties to business are under scrutiny. Death, it's almost like it's preordained. There's an ending here. And the Eight of Swords, he's going to be restricted in some way. They want to restrict him. He's losing support of his own party. He's seen as the playboy. He's seen as somebody whose connections, who's exploited his office while others are suffering. And we've got the Ten of Wands. This is strictly a no card, but, when you're doing a Celtic cross and you get these kind of cards, it's struggle time for him. The Two of Wands, something comes to fruition in time. Be patient. His ending is coming. The judgment, they're going to pass judgment on him. It won't be right now, but, it could be in time, in a matter of time. They pass judgment on him. He's struggling now. He's potentially facing the Tower. His own party, through what's coming out with this Knight of Swords, his own party are thinking about getting rid of him and putting someone else in there. And we've got the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't recover. I don't want to say that. It's not that cut and dried. But there's an ending of a cycle here for Johnson, and for what it's worth, I tend to... It's not entirely impossible for him to recover, but I'm going to say it's entirely possible his own party removes him. All right, so, which is what I saw way back then. Previous readings I've done a couple of years ago. But I am hearing he may have the last laugh, so who knows? Who knows? We'll see how events unfold in the UK with Boris Johnson. Okay, so where do we want to go now? Okay, let's go to Emmanuel Macron. I have European viewers. They have asked me to update my reading. I have read on the French elections. He controversially came out and said he wanted to, I won't use the word, but I'll substitute peeve off the unvaccinated in France. They have vaccine passports there, and there's been a lot of backlash for that. Macron makes me smile. All right. Can Emmanuel Macron hang on in the French upcoming French elections? Please, European viewers, tell me when they might be. I know that they're in 2022. Can Emmanuel Macron hang on in the upcoming French elections? Can Emmanuel Macron hang on in the upcoming French elections? I don't know why I'm seeing like a baby, but anyway. Eight of Swords. So we've got worry, restriction, the vaccine passports, restriction. And there's a lot of anxiety there. This is sword in mental energy. A lot of anxiety over the restrictions he's brought in. The Eight of Wands, so we've got things happening really, really quickly. The speed at which things are being brought in. Communications, fiery communications. It's like he's stepping up in some way. The Five of Cups in the past, loss. And really that card could come up for us all in relation to COVID. But there are two cups remaining. The Seven of Cups is interesting. I don't think the French people have decided yet. It's like illusion and delusion. There's still, and some of my French viewers or European viewers might be able to help me out here. People haven't really made up their minds. They really don't know which way to look. There's a lot of conflicting information around in French politics. Now, we've got the Empress card in the near future. That can be abundance. It might be that the economy is strong in France by the time they go to the election. This is also my card for Russia as well. The Lovers card is in the here and now, those that are supporting him. And we've got the King of Cups here. So I think he does enjoy. I think, despite the loudness, I think he does enjoy some reasonable support. He's seen as a benign ruler, as having acted for the good. Three of Cups, does he have enough support in the hopes and fears? Let's see. Two of Wands, something coming to fruition in time. That would be a yes card, but it's clouded at the moment. Okay, things become clearer closer to the election. The Chariot can perceive something getting out of control, and basically the French people vote for what is known because they have this uncertainty around the present, and I think this is Omicron. They will vote for a steady hand. Okay, they don't want a revolution at this time, but right now they really can't see what they want. But I think as the election draws closer in time, be patient, they will want to vote with the I won't say the devil they know, because I don't perceive Macron as a devil, but the person that they know rather than the person that they don't. So we have the Page of Swords, some kind of enlightenment coming out. I feel there's Six of Swords moving out of troubled water. I do see these underlying cards as suggesting that he will hold on. But a lot is to do with the economy and how he keeps that afloat. But I do see there's a good chance that Macron will hold on. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's go to Russia now. Russia is, the US has accused Russia of setting up saboteurs on the border of Ukraine, and that Russia plans to invade Ukraine. Now, my past reading was, I like to say, pretty accurate on that. Putin was playing a game of literally Russian roulette, sending his troops in to support separatists trying to take territory by stealth. But of course the US and Europe became involved. Now he's demanding that Ukraine doesn't join NATO. So there's a strong arm thing here. There's also domestic considerations for Putin. Three of Wands. We've got foreign setting up things to come to fruition. What's at the base there? The Lovers. Please don't draw in the ex-president into this reading, although the two kind of are synonymous. NATO, the ex-president, Russia. All right, let's go back. Let's focus on Russia. Will Russia invade Ukraine? Will Russia invade Ukraine? That would draw all of us into a precarious situation. Will Russia invade Ukraine? Five of Swords, abuse of power, bullying, strong-arming, challenged by the Emperor here, or the other signifier. What's crossing here is the President of the United States. So what Biden does is really influential here. The World card is at the foundations of this reading, endings and beginnings. He is faced with severe sanctions if he does invade. I think we'd need to go further than sanctions. The Three of Wands, he's setting things up, but it's in the past. He wants those shipping lanes. He wants control, passage of those shipping lanes. And this is all part of why he's doing what he's doing. Now, in the sky, we have justice. Justice means balance. So I think the world is bringing forward some kind of justice, but the immediate future, we have the Chariot. Things will accelerate with Russia and Ukraine in the immediate future, I'm sorry to say. The King of Swords, strategy, planning, and an attempt to bring him to halt this invasion. There's an investigation, I think, at that world. When I say an investigation, there are eyes on what he's doing. Yeah, Ten of Swords is the environment, the downfall here. An ending. I think we stop him, is what I feel. I think he will be stopped. King of Wands, hopes and fears that people have the courage to stand up to this bully, to this dictator. Eight of Swords, he'll be restricted. So, no. Something occurs, still be hopeful that he will be restricted. It's Biden's King of Cups. It's his interference. However, the Tower is here. So things are really precarious, really precarious. The Four of Swords talks about retreat, and the Ace of Wands plans a new start. It's volatile with that Chariot card. Very volatile. He might start something, and there is then a NATO force that amasses to help Ukraine. He is stopped eventually, but it's really precarious with the Chariot and the Tower card there. Ultimately, eventually, he will be restricted. I don't like the look of those cards. It is a game of Russian roulette that could ultimately go bad for Putin, but the critical question here is what the US does. Biden's influence stops something. Okay, so there might be an international court that makes some sort of ruling. I just get that. I don't know. Is it Geneva? I don't know. There's some kind of international decree that comes down on Putin, and it's beyond just financial sanctions. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, let's go to the January 6th committee now, and we have also evidence being uncovered. I think in Michigan, the Michigan Attorney General has given evidence over to the DOJ about fake electoral votes being sent, fake electoral sign-offs in the 2020 election, fake electors being put forward by the Republicans and trying again to overturn the results of a fair election. Will these fake electors face justice? I'm feeling they will. Page of Wands, so information coming out about them, challenged by the Tower. This is all part of the insurrection investigation. It goes into the DOJ under that heading. Ten of Swords, absolutely, as the foundation of the reading. That Four of Swords, retreat. They weren't successful. Wounded in battle. Wow. I know who has the upper hand. King of Cups. That's my card for Biden's DOJ. Immediate future is yes, they will face federal investigation. Nine of Pentacles, which is independent money type of interest. The Ace of Cups. He always appears when I read on these questions. It's around the high emotion surrounding these events. Be patient, restrictions, and of course we've got the Empress card. Whether that's people were paid, whether that's Russian influence, there's some kind of abundance. So much grifting here, but I do see it's like people jumping onto the bandwagon for many reasons. But those fake electors, the DOJ will announce an investigation into them. It is all part of the January 6th committee's work. It's all part of the attempts to overthrow a fair election in the US in 2020. I do want to go to last question now, the Fulton County investigation. It's came up last week. They're getting very close to indicting or announcing charges, accelerating their investigation with their grand jury. The ex-president's lawyers were talking to the Fulton County DA and prosecutor. They're saying Georgia might be the first to lay charges around this unsuccessful coup to overturn a fair election. I think they were looking at racketeering charges against the ex-president. So, Georgia, Fulton County DA, will charges be announced against the ex-president in Georgia? Fulton County, will their investigation announce charges against the ex-president? Queen of Cups, I'm not sure. I think this is the Fulton County DA. Something being revealed about what they tried to end here. So there's huge revelations. Whatever evidence they've collected, it is somebody's downfall. The Hermit card, investigation, isolation. I mean, he was caught on a phone record. There's not a lot more that needs to be said. But I think they're joining the dots around what else was going on in Georgia at the time. The King of Swords, there's an investigation in the past, a strong investigation. Seven of Wands, having to defend oneself, and the Wheel of Fortune in the future. Yes, I do feel that they are going to. I'll pull a full Celtic cross. They're reviewing at the moment their evidence and what they can charge him with. The environment around that is things coming to fruition in time. The Seven of Swords, somebody lied. Somebody is afraid of being found out in a lie. Okay, Three of Pentacles, yes. And I do feel this is three coming together. This is three groups coming together. I keep getting that. It's more than just the Democrats. So the DOJ could be part of this as well. There's a decision needing to be made, and the Chariot decision will be made very quickly. So I'm feeling yes, they're really sitting on the burden of that decision, but I'm feeling with the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, someone having to defend themselves, it's a big decision, and the Chariot coming forward and the Knight of Swords, clarifying the Chariot card that they are going to announce. They are going to announce charges. Somebody has been wounded in battle. We've got the voter, and we've got the Queen of Swords, the investigator. More than one person, which would indicate that Lindsey Graham might be caught up in all of this. Or if he's not, there are other people on the ground that have been brought into this investigation, incriminated in this investigation in the Republican Party. It wasn't just him on the phone. Will Graham be charged? Eight of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. And the Devil card, possibly, yes. Possibly. There's a lot of money. I think the investigation has also gone to some sort of money trail as well. Funding something. Funding. Five of Cups, there's a loss here. A loss that goes back to the past, for which there will be justice emerging. So I can say, I'm not sure about Graham, but I can say the president will face, or could face, according to these cards, could face charges in the future. I better get off and get about my business because it's Saturday morning here. Thank you all for your kindness and support of this channel. It is so appreciated. Bye for now.